Good morning and welcome to OakBrook.
Good morning.
For those of you that haven't met me, I am Norma Anderson, and I generally do the announcements every week, so I enjoy looking at every beautiful face from up here. It's very wonderful, all the wonderful smiling faces. But our announcements, Monday, August 12th, August 2nd's gone. At 6 p.m. it's going to be our second OakBrook Youth Night. I think the kids were telling me how much fun they had with the first one, so if you guys know of any young teens, anyone, basically gives an opportunity for those that don't want to get up early on Sunday morning. You know how teens are, and it's my day off from everything. Have them come join us on a Sunday night, 6 p.m. But this week they're going to be talking about chakras. Chakras. It's open to anyone who wants to learn more about themselves, their relationship, and their relationship with spirit. So they'll open up this one to more than just the youth, apparently. And we get to discuss names, colors, sounds, videos, associations, meditations, and they're going to have snacks. So, hey, sounds like going to cover everything. So come check it out, see what it's all about. And if you want to learn more about chakras, or if you know a little bit about chakras and want to maybe discuss what you know with what they know, come in and join them. This and every Wednesday at 6 p.m. we have our Visioning and Healing Circle. This is where it's usually led by Reverend Peggy. I still get you two guys mixed up, and I've been living here 5 years. It's amazing. Right? It's where we get ourselves centered in vision, not only for ourselves and OakBrook, but for the community and the world at large. So it's a wonderful time to come and reassess your circle, your vision, and your situation. So come join us at 6 p.m. on every Wednesday for that. And coming soon, Sunday, September 1st, our youth are going to have a lunch fundraiser. Since you have to eat lunch, so why not help our youth group at the same time? Now, I do know that the youth are planning some activities outside of OakBrook, so they'll need monies to facilitate it, like gas for cars, lunch for when they go, all kinds of things that they're going to need to make it somewhere that costs. So they put out what they want to get in. So they're going to have lunch for sale on Sunday, September 1st. And for those of you that haven't been accosted by one of the youth, there's menus floating around telling you what they're going to have. They have vegetarian items and stuff with meat for those that like some oomph to their. Not saying that you vegetarians don't get on. But they'll have something for everyone. So if you haven't seen a menu, look at someone that has a yellow paper in their hand, or the youth will probably grab you after the service if you don't move out too quickly. Saturday, November 2nd. Carol.
Yes.
You haven't been here a while to talk about it and get excited. You've been all up to one. Come tell us about the rummage sale and what you got going on.
Well, hasn't Ron been doing a good job?
We need your perspective. We didn't want to scare anybody off this morning.
Yeah. I just heard we can't walk from all of his weekend activities. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody that has already begun to donate to the rummage sale. And we have a lot of items, and we even have an organized shed and place to store them. And we're looking this year to have a huge rummage sale, which means we need participation from everybody. So if you're cleaning out your garage, if you're moving, if you have a neighbor that's moving, if they're cleaning out the garage or the attic or the closets or the utility room, whatever it is, if they're not going to keep it, ask them to give it to you. And I have personally found that if I volunteer to help, I get a lot more things. So I've been pretty busy this summer. So anyway, November 2nd, we'll be updating you every single week. Look for some interesting, cute little things coming along the way. Thank you.
And while we're on asking for volunteers, I'm going to ask Gail to come up and talk about her trip.
Yes. We have a meet and greet team, and we need everyone who wants to participate, and it's such a wonderful opportunity to meet people. You know, if you're at the door when they come in and you meet them and greet them, you get to tell them your name and you get to get their name, and then you get to test yourself to see how long you can remember that name. So it's a very good exercise for your mind, as well as welcoming people into our center. You know yourself, if you came, the first time you came and you stepped in the door and you didn't know which way to go or what to do or where to be. So we need people there at the door when new people come in, so they can say hi and lead them and show them all the wonderful things that we know about OakBrook, and let them know how wonderful the people at OakBrook are. So see me or Ron, and if you'd like to join up with our team, and volunteer to give us at least one Sunday a month. That's all we're asking, just one Sunday a month. So get in touch, we're waiting for you.
Thank you. And we also know a lot of times people want to jump up and help with the offering basket. And if you're on that team, then maybe you'll be appointed to do that also. So it's not just the greeting at the door, but there's other things that the meet and greet team are responsible for. So see Ron and Gail, and they can get you hooked up with that. They'll be having a meeting soon that she'll announce probably next week. Science of Mind reading. Shells.
I'll
We're going to have Cindy Grimes do it. She's got it right here.
Oh, okay.
Cindy's going to do our Science of Mind. Thank you, Cindy.
Good morning, everyone. Kind of took a look around and saw Michelle wasn't here, so jumped on it. So I don't know what today's message was, but I'll just read what it says for Sunday, September 11th. Does anybody wake up? I'm sorry. What did I say? September.
Wow, we're jumping.
Yes. You know, I have a soundtrack that plays in my head. Does anyone else have that? Music that just pops up randomly. And so this morning's soundtrack was Increase My Faith. It was a song Kelly and I sang, I don't know how long ago, but increase my faith in the things I cannot see, the things I cannot prove, yet choose to believe. So I just felt like that was a message for today. So I'll pass that along. So faith that whatever I chose or whatever I choose to read is exactly the right message. It says, the light is better here. All our knowledge is ourselves to know. Okay, that was from Alexander Pope. And then from the Science of Mind, it says, we need not worry how things are coming out. The law takes care of everything and returns to each exactly what is his due. Now, doesn't that sound like having faith? A very old joke. A man is searching for his keys on the sidewalk around a lamppost. Stopping to help, a passerby asks, so, is this about where you were standing when you last had them? No, says the man, I was across the street, but the light is better over here. We have never lost our true divine nature. We never could, because divinity is omnipresent. The light is everywhere and always on. We may have misplaced the access, but the key is as near as the next thought. Keys open locks and let us in or out. They start engines and enable us to go to far places. They also lock things in to safeguard them. How often in the world's sacred scriptures do we read an instruction to keep this in your heart or go and tell no one? This is admonishing us to use the consciousness key to store away what we know, at least for the moment, and to keep it fresh. Feeling, imagination, and focus are internal keys to wisdom and wonder. We can't imagine what we imagine needn't be broadcast. Let me say that again. What we imagine need not be broadcast. We best create in the private, interior space, undistracted. The world will know it when it comes to light. Whatever we are seeking to bring forth, ultimately approval and admiration, is tangible, positive change. from accepting ourselves fully as the co-creators we are and acting from that space. And the affirmation is not what I saw here. Okay.
That's
The
the one Michelle was
affirmation
doing.
is just knowing on faith that it is exactly perfect.
Celebrating my ongoing evolution, I give great thanks for the opportunity to do God's work. Regardless of my vocation, my real compensation and reward is the experience that God has of itself as me. Knowing that Spirit is pleased with its self-recognition, I let this be my truth, and I release my words to the law, and so it is.
So it is. And for those of you who may not know, we have magazines in our bookstore. So please do partake.
Yes, give her a hand. Welcome to OakBrook. Let's stand for I Release and I Let Go. Wonderful song by Ricky Byers.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Okay. So the one thing about hugs is if you miss them in this part of the service, and I missed a few hugs back there, is you can catch them afterwards, so do that. Thank you, Cindy, for standing up before. Michelle is here, and you're going to invite Michelle to lead us in our affirmations and exchange. Are you up for that, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay, come and lead us in our affirmations. Thank you. Isn't it fun to be flexible? Don't you love that?
Sorry for being late.
Did you have
anything to do today? Yeah. And for
You can look at the screen in the back, Michelle.
okay. And let's all join together in today's affirmation. I
know that prosperity awaits my recognition and acceptance of it. My success in every area of life already exists in infinite mind. I accept my abundance now, and so it is.
And for what we believe.
We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of all is God.
And for the OakBrook affirmation, enthusiasm.
I am thankful for OakBrook, for the teaching of the science of mind as an empowering way of life at every age, and for the abundance it brings into my life, my center, and my world. I am grateful for our ever-growing spiritual community of love, freedom, and acceptance. I celebrate with a thankful heart our beautiful new spacious center as we welcome our divine unfoldment through gifts of music, encouragement of our youth, and all life-enhancing activities. OakBrook's vision supports us all in experiencing full and realized lives as spirit and expression. God's love empowers.
So it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's just take a deep breath and another one. We know that the breath calms us down and really brings us center. And we know that God is always with us, deep inside. And so we find that there's great joy here at OakBrook as God Center meets God Center. And we feel the power and presence of God in everyone we meet. And we know that the Reverend Peggy has prepared a wonderful lesson for us. And we give thanks for all her preparation and our lesson today. Each one of us will take a little bit of it home, I know. And because of that, your life will be better. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you.
Each day I live, I want to be a day to give the best of me. I'm only
moment is, don't we? It's right now. It's right now. And so how fun it is today that we're going to talk about removing roadblocks on our path to abundance. How many of you know that you are already unlimited in abundance? How many of you would like to realize that and express it more fully? So let's do that this morning. Let's take a look at them. Take a look at the roadblocks that might be in our lives. Convince ourselves that they don't need to be there anymore. And I have a gift for all of you before you leave today. Now, before we begin this, how many of you were here last week? And those of you who were here last week were invited to become a part of our Unexpected Prosperity Program. And those of you who were here last week already know what this is. And if you haven't turned in the bottom half and you lost your paper, I have more. And if you were not invited last week because you were not here, please come up and see me afterward. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this morning, but I do want to mention it again because we've already had one wonderful demonstration. The idea is that we have income coming in that we expect. Might be a paycheck, might be a Social Security check, but sometimes we have income that comes in that we didn't expect. And we want to celebrate that together. And one of the ways to do that is to tithe on that unexpected income to OakBrook. So we'll be keeping track of the extra tithes that come in, extra 1/10 of what you get that you did not expect. Send it into OakBrook, and we'll keep track between now and Thanksgiving Sunday, the third Sunday in November. Because, of course, whatever OakBrook gets in means that all of you got 10 times that much, right? So come and see me afterward if you'd like one of these and did not get it or you lost yours. Okay? But I don't want to take a lot of time with that. It's self-explanatory. Okay, so here we've got a map to abundance. In Scotland, there is this abundance bread and breakfast. And if you wanted to go there, you might get online and follow the map, right? And so we do have a pathway of abundance in our life, and this is just a silly little example of an abundance place. And you know why they named their bed and breakfast Abundance, didn't you? They wanted to be an abundant place. They want to attract people with abundance consciousness. And it's in Glastonbury, Scotland. And here's a true statement. Do you all agree with this? Life is your mirror. What you see as your outside always comes from your inside. And we're not talking about your heart and lungs and liver when we talk about your inside, are we? We're talking about your thoughts, your emotions, that kind of inside of you. So we're going to take a look at beliefs this morning. We're going to take a look at thoughts, some thoughts that perhaps have got us off track, and bring ourselves back on track. Because you are an individual and you have freedom of choice, you can build a wall of negative thoughts, built of mental blocks, cemented together by fear and unbelief, mixed in the mortar of negative experience. Now, if all of us were born into wealthy families, we would have that wealth consciousness pattern for us. But if we were not born into what we would call wealthy families, and had friends that were not necessarily what we would classify as wealthy, we might have some mental blocks just because that was our normal way of being. Or perhaps it was even told us some things that are not true, some false beliefs that we might have, and they even could have been taught on a Sunday school morning with a teacher in a Sunday school classroom when you were growing up, or from the pulpit. So let's start with religion and some ideas that we might have that are false beliefs. The false belief that it's a virtue to be poor. How many of us were taught that wealthy people only get wealth in unsavory ways, and so if you're poor, you should be glad because you're more virtuous than people that are wealthy? If that's something that we believed in, let's let it go, okay? And even the Bible. We had this photo of this painting in our home growing up, Jesus and the rich young ruler. And so, do you remember the story? The rich young ruler comes to Jesus and he says, I've followed all the commandments all my life. What must I do to enter into the kingdom of heaven? Now, Jesus knew, do you have that painting too? Are you familiar with that? Jesus knew the psychology of life, didn't he? He was a psychic as well as a mystic. And he could read people's minds. He knew the woman at the well had been married 3 times before, and the man she was with now was not her husband. How did he know that? He could look into people's hearts. And for this rich young ruler, Jesus could see that this man's wealth, he'd inherited it, was a burden in his life. And so what did Jesus say? He said, give all your money away to the poor and take up your cross and follow me. And so many churches over the years have said, well, this is Jesus telling us that to have money is wrong. We should give it all away. That isn't what Jesus was saying. To this individual, he knew that his great wealth was a burden. He didn't own it. Perhaps it owned him. Perhaps he was not free in his life to live the life of choice because he had responsibilities to care for all that was valued by the family. Who knows what that was? But for us to set this aside as an example, Jesus lived a very wealthy life. He might not have gone out and gotten a paycheck, but he knew the abundance of the world, and he knew the abundance of the infinite. He fed the 5,000. How do you do that if you don't have an abundance consciousness? When they needed money for taxes, he told them to go fishing, that they'd find the money in the fish's mouth. Probably the fish had some value, or they sold it for the tax dollars. That's probably what that really meant. And Jesus was always cared for. Probably among his friends, that all the places he visited were the wealthy people in the town that loved his teaching. And so he probably lived it up when he went to different people's houses and stayed with them. His robe itself was so valuable that the soldiers at the foot of the cross gambled to win it, didn't they? So let's not look at Jesus as an example of poverty being the example we want to follow in life. And if that was taught to you before, let's just breathe right now and release that. We're releasing Roadblocks. Let's release that one. Think of all the good you can do as you get your $3 million. You know, that's what one of our teachers of prosperity said. She said, you know, if all the money in all the world and all the people in all the world were divided equally, everyone would get $3 million. And then she asks, where's yours? So for us to up-level our consciousness around the goodness it is to have great wealth. And not just in money, but money is included there. The false belief that there's not enough. Here again, this example of all the money was divided equally, we'd all have $3 million. Obviously, there's enough. And we can use nature as a wonderful example of that, can't we? We can't count the number of leaves on the trees just here at OakBrook. There are so many. God has created this abundant, infinite universe that we all reside in. And if we want to see examples of abundance, perhaps we shouldn't look at our neighbor next door, especially if they're complaining about not having enough. We should look at nature. We always have enough air to breathe, don't we? That next breath, we don't worry where that air is coming from. And that's true with every good thing that God's provided us. Here's another false belief, that competition is real. And if we're in business, that everybody else deserves it more than we do. There's no such thing really as competition, is there? Or that no one will want what I have if we have a business, that no one will want what I'm wanting to do or sell in my life. Jesus had this wonderful phrase that I love a whole lot. It is, I know my own and my own know me. Now let's use Jesus as an example again. His lot in life was to not teach in the synagogue to the very rich people, was it? But the people came. And they knew him, and he knew them. Those that he could help, those that he could lift up, came to him. And if you are in a business, your own know you, and you know them. You don't have to have all of the business, but your share of the business is more than enough. Because there is no such thing as competition. It's yours by divine right. Your very clients, your very customers, your very people that you're to teach and to bless, or whatever in your life, come to you because of the divine right of who you are as a child of God and as being here on purpose in your life. Here's a false belief, I have to do it all. that no one's going to help me, that God's not on my side, I've got to make it happen, I've got to push through to get the results that I'm after in my life. I love to use gardening as an example. I can't make any plant grow, can you? I can't do it myself. I cannot make a beautiful garden myself, but I can do my part. We can each do our part to make that a beautiful garden, can't we? We can plant the seeds, we can take the cuttings, we can get divisions from a friend. Our tricolor ginger out here is beautifying more than just OakBrook now. We're taking little pieces out of it, and it's going to grow and multiply other places, because growth is natural, isn't it? We see growth in nature, that's natural. And we don't have to do it all. Actually, we do very little of it. But we do have to begin, and we do have to know that it's ours. Here's some other blocks on this pathway to abundance. Fear of failure. Well, here's some great examples of failures. Can you read those? Albert Einstein, he wasn't able to speak till he was almost 4 years old, and his teacher said he would never amount to much. Michael Jordan, after being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. Walt Disney, fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. Steve Jobs, at 30 years old, he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. And then Oprah Winfrey was demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for television. And the Beatles, rejected by Decca Recording Studios, who said, "We don't like their sound. They have no future in show business." So for us to set aside this fear of failure, that if we haven't failed, we've never tried anything new. For us to know that failure is no indication that we won't succeed. Here's some others. Unforgiveness, blame, criticism. We don't need to spend much time talking about that, but we know that those kinds of things, unforgiveness and blame and criticism, take a lot of energy. They block the good that wants to flow into our lives because we're holding it off. And I love this picture of criticism. This is the complaint department. Press button for service. So if you like to complain, what would happen if you push that button? Guess who gets it, right? And this is a key one, for us to keep our thoughts in an elevated place as we invite abundance into our lives, to not complain or bitch about life, because what are we doing if we put our attention on the things we don't like? Is attracting more of what we don't like in our lives, right? Unforgiveness of ourselves. I told this story before, but it's so strong to me, I want to tell it again. There was a young woman that came in for financial help several years ago. It's been 5 or 6 years ago now, to OakBrook. She was suffering, and she didn't even know it, from what is called survivor guilt. She was at the Pentagon on 9/11, 2001. All of her friends from the company that she worked for, and she was in a consulting firm working at the Pentagon, all of her friends were killed. And she was supposed to be in the part of the building where her friends were when they were all killed. So now here she is, she can't keep a job. She simply turned off the success button in her life because she's feeling guilty that she survived something that her friends did not survive. And of course the thing that I had to talk to her about, as I gave her some money, was to encourage her to know that she was spared because she has important work to do. For her to not feel guilty that she lived, but to be thankful for her life and to find her place in the world and give her larger gift. But sometimes we can survive a sibling or a spouse or just a friend. We may have the same challenge that they have, and they don't make it to the next day in their life, but we live on. Perhaps we're cured or healed and they are not, and we might carry a burden about that. If you've ever seen the movie Ordinary People, it won Academy Awards. 2 brothers were out on a boating, on a sailboat, and one was drowned. And the other brother didn't even know, but he was feeling guilty that he lived.
He almost committed suicide. He tried to commit suicide. This idea of survivor guilt is something that maybe we want to take a look at. Maybe if we've got some blocks in our life, maybe we're not opening ourselves up to receive all the gifts that life has for us because we're the one punishing ourselves because of something that we didn't even do. I invite you to take a look at that today. And then there's this thing called analysis paralysis, where we just can't figure it out, but we keep trying, you know? Instead of letting go and releasing and letting go, like we sang at the song at the beginning this morning, we keep trying to figure out what we're doing wrong or how we need to do something differently. Let's let it go, shall we? Let's just let go of analysis paralysis, because the truth is going to dissipate every block. We've had walls up. Let's get our attention on the truth. And what is the truth? The God power is at the center of everyone's being, and it knows neither lack, limitation, nor fear, sickness, disquiet, nor imperfection. And you have the ability to choose for yourself what you shall think. Ernest Holmes goes on to say, and thus create for yourself a life filled with all the good you can envision. Now I invite us all to just close our eyes for a minute. Perhaps one of the things that I listed that were blocks or something that's been a challenge for you, I just invite you to all just breathe. And with your out breath, let it go. Let it go. And then maybe one I haven't listed, but let it go. Know that the truth of your being is divine, abundant good. Know that the infinite is pouring itself upon you and wants to express itself through you abundantly, prosperously. Growing into a new business, a new expression of your business. See it expanding and knowing that nothing is holding it back. No competition, no fear, absolutely nothing is holding it back. We're just totally opening to the great good that God has for us. Okay. And thank you for reading this morning. Let's open our eyes again and take a look at this key. That reading that had to do with the key. So what is the key to your increased abundance? Our OakBrook's Unexpected Income Program. And how about a millionaire's license? What if I were to give you all, and I have one for everyone this morning, a millionaire's license? For you to put your name on it, and it says, be it known that by right of abundant and prosperous consciousness of absolute good, Peggy Hostetler has everything it takes to demonstrate, receive, and share the abundance of universal, infinite substance now and forever. Who'd like a millionaire's license? Okay, who'd like to hand them out? Yeah. This idea came from Edwin Gaines. Give her the credit. The wording is almost exactly her wording. And I made extras, so the kids in the back can get one, or the teachers in the back can get one, and we'll leave the rest out here. Or if you have a person you'd love to give one to, Lita might like one, right? Get one for Lita as well, Rick, this morning. Now, you always had the right, and this, of course, being a millionaire doesn't mean only $1 million. It means success and prosperity in relationships, in your health, in your activities, and meaning in your life. In every area of life, God is good and only good, right? We've always known that. But if you need a piece of paper, here it is. If you need a piece of paper to help you to embody the concept, know that you have a millionaire's license. And if everyone is on average should have 3 million, it's really a millionaire for more than just 1 million, right? Yeah. For us to know that's ours. Okay, so let's all read our own out loud to ourselves. Put your name in there as we read it together. Millionaire's license. Be it known that by right of abundant and prosperous consciousness of absolute good, Peggy Hostetler has everything it takes to demonstrate, receive, and share the abundance of universal, infinite substance now and forever. Okay. And let's do our Let's do our affirmation. Oh, this is another quote from Ernest Holmes. I know that prosperity awaits my recognition and acceptance of it. Oh, this is our affirmation. Okay, let's do that together. I'm so excited about y'all getting your licenses. I'm so excited about that. I know that prosperity awaits my recognition and acceptance of it. My success in every area of life already exists. I accept my abundance now, and so it is. And get that feeling of freedom. Get that feeling of freedom. Let's turn within, shall we? Let's just close our eyes and breathe for a moment. And notice what you're holding in your hand, if you still are, just the feeling of it, with your eyes closed. I'm surrounded by millionaires. How wonderful that feels. That if we walked into this room this morning feeling less than in any way, let us know that as we walk out of here today, we are all that we need. The infinite wisdom and abundance of the universe is ours by divine right. Jesus said, all that the Father hath is mine. Let's all know that for ourselves. All that the Father hath is mine. And since the Father is infinite, we're not taking away from anybody else. We're simply claiming our own. And having that abundance consciousness and owning that for ourselves opens the way for the channels to flow into the right way for us to increase that in our lives. Of course, we don't do just the thinking part. We do the moving the feet part as well. Let's see what we're doing enlarging in whatever way it might be. Let's open to new pathways, new doorways through that wall that's been holding us back. Let's just know that we've got the key that's going to open the door, that's going to bring the greater good into our lives. And let us give thanks that it's already happening. And so it is. So it is.
To help you grow strong, to help you hold on, I'll do whatever it takes. No matter how much you need, it isn't too much for me. When it comes to you, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. When you start feeling like you don't have a friend, like there's nothing and no one on whom you can depend. And when you fear that you'll keep bending till you break, make no mistake, make no mistake. Whatever it takes, I'll do whatever it takes for you, to help you grow strong, to help you hold on. I'll do whatever it takes. No matter how much you need, it isn't too much for me. When it comes to you, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Sometimes you need a friend to feel the way you feel, someone to remind you what's crazy and $3 million apiece.
There you go. As we get ready to celebrate our abundance, I would like to tell you the one story that I've gotten so far on our Unexpected Good program comes from Stephanie and Wes. You know, they moved down away from here, but they're joining in the program with us. And they have already had an unexpected good of $75 from the sales and packing boxes that they advertised, and those got sold, and so they're happy to tithe on that $75. So that's how it works, and just expect to have unexpected good come to you, and if you didn't get the stuff, come on and see me afterward. Yes, let's do that celebration of abundance, and the offering baskets are here. They're right there. I lost track of it. Okay. We take our gift in our hand, and we do have envelopes now. You'll find them on both the windowsill and the table. If those that want to use envelopes from now on, we'll just keep those supplied for you. Let's share affirmation in unison together. How good it is to know that I am the place where the abundance of the universe flows. And as the abundance flows through me, it is with a grateful heart that I give. I know that as I give, so much more is given back to me. Gratefully and joyfully, I give of my time, my talents, my gifts, and my heart. And so it is. And those of you with prayer requests, hold them up so that Ron will find you with the prayer chest.
So I'm gonna just enjoy myself with the flow. Send it out and let it go. It comes back to me in time. My joy is overflowing. I know God is my source. My money is like money. It goes forth and multiplies. Talk about the money. My money is like money. It goes forth and multiplies. Send it out, let it go. It comes back to me in time. My joy is overflowing.
As we celebrate being millionaires this morning, I do give thanks for our tithes and offerings. I feel this wonderful upsurge of energy around abundance in this room, and all of us are blessed because of it, including the center itself. We know that OakBrook Center for Spiritual Living exists because of the divine idea that it is, and because of the givingness of so many, of each of you. I do give thanks for that, and I give thanks knowing that as we give, we know it multiplies and returns to us. Perhaps not like a bunny, perhaps even more than a bunny. And we give thanks that that's true. I give thanks also this morning for our prayer requests. I know that the answer to each and every request already exists in that infinite field of all possibilities, the infinite mind of the divine. And I know that our ministry team, our ministers and practitioners, as they pray about each of these requests this week, affirm that truth, that the very highest and the very best is unfolding in the lives of those who have put in requests this morning, for their prayer to be answered and the gifts of life to pour upon them and them to be open to receive them. I do give thanks that all of this is so, and so it is. And now, in preparation for Frank giving us our spiritual mind treatment, let's remain seated, and we're going to sing a new song, Increase My Faith.
That's the song we're singing.
In the face of
There is one God, one presence in the universe. Each of us are a part of that, and it's a part of us. Because of that, we have the power to speak our word and things change in our lives. Now as we go out this week, think of increasing our faith. Just like we can build muscles by exercising them, we can build our faith by exercising our faith as we go through each day. In big and small things, faith is the way that we can get through the day. We are thankful that we leave here as millionaires, and the things in our life are abundant. The blocks that we thought were in our way are gone. It's like the sandcastles that are washed away when the sea comes in. That goes before us, cleaning the beach for us, cleaning our way, and there's nothing to block our success. We are thankful for the success that's coming our way, and we look forward to finding ways to use what comes to us to help others, to help ourselves, and to make the world a better place. We give thanks that this is so, and we look forward to the unfolding of it in our life. And we release this into the law to be done as we have spoken in our minds and in our hearts. And so it is. So it is.
Thank you, Frank, for that other treatment. Let's stand for our last song.
I just wanted to thank everybody that came aboard with me last Sunday, and
yes.
So let's continue this, and so we can get our goings out of there.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. So let's continue with this. So Reverend Peggy said everything is coming in. So
Yeah. And more is coming in. For those of you who were not here last week, we had a number that we're reaching our goal for the payment off of our last bond. And Estridge came up and invited everyone to join with him, such that the bond didn't have to wait till the end of the year to get paid off. We get paid off immediately. So money came in last week, and more money has come since then. And next week we'll do a report on that.
okay.
Okay?
Good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now this is a real fun song that we'll get to watch Joyful Noise up here, up front leading us. We've only ever, I think, watched them do it and not joined in, but this is such a wonderful song that we just relax into our great prosperity as we sing together.
I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. And every day I affirm and pray that I'm blessed with everything I have. I release my fear, 'cause it's all so clear. I am held, I am loved, I am safe. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, Release and surrender, all is well.